Well, what it do, Facebook crew? I hope you are having an awesome day so far. I am back. I'm refreshed and revived from camp, teen camp. We had a great time. We had a blast. I spent my birthday with those awesome teens. We had so much fun. Countless memories were made, things that will never be told and things that we will laugh about for years. Also, we just had a great time in worship, a great time in ministry, an awesome time bonding. It was just fabulous. But while I was there, God kind of challenged me with my area in worship and just as a worshiper, as a God worshiper personally. And I kind of wanted to share it with y'all and kind of challenge y'all in what kind of a worshiper are you? So I have my Bible, my Bible. I believe paper Bibles are so important still. You need to turn those pages, look at that Bible. Digital Bibles are cool, but I still love my paper Bible. So anyway, in Mark 5, verse 29 through 31. No, let's go to 25 through 31. It says, a woman who had suffered a condition of hemorrhaging for 12 years, a long succession of his physicians had treated her badly, taking all her money and leaving her worse off than before, had heard about Jesus. She slipped in from behind and touched his robe. She was thinking to herself, if I can put a finger on his robe, I can get well. The moment she did it, the flow of blood dried up. She could feel the change and knew her plague was over with and done. At that same moment, Jesus felt an energy discharged from him. He turned around to the crowd and asked, who touched my robe? And his disciples said, what are you talking about? With this crowd pushing and jostling you, you're asking, who touched me? Dozens have touched you. This is the challenge that I see from this, that God kind of showed me. There's two types of worshipers. The types of worshipers that can be in God's presence, like the disciples said, dozens have touched you. Dozens around, you're asking who touched you? Dozens have touched you. How many times are we content in worship where we are just content with just getting a touch from God? We're content in just being in his presence and just getting a touch from God. Are you a type of worshiper that's just content? Or are you like the second type of worshiper, the woman that got his attention? Are you the desperate kind of worshiper, the kind of worshiper that's desperate for something, desperate for his attention, desperate for his response? She was so desperate for him that she was said, you know what, I'm not just content with touching him. I'm not just content with, just being in his presence. I have to draw him to me. I want to activate his presence. I want to be so desperate for him that he turns around and notices me. What kind of worshiper are you? I mean, so many times as a worship leader, it's my job to draw people into the presence of God. It's my job to engage the crowd into worship and praise, to usher in the presence of God and set an atmosphere and a tone for the entire service. So I see a lot of people from that stage. I see the desperate worshipers. I see the ones that are, longing for God's attention. I see the ones that are having an encounter right there with God. Tears and just revelation, joy. You can tell the difference between a content worshiper and a desperate worshiper. And I just want to encourage you to not be content with just feeling a touch from God, feeling, his presence. Be the kind of worshiper that's so desperate for him that you're going to draw his face and his attention towards you, just like this woman. This woman was so desperate for him, he could literally feel his energy discharge from his body. She was that desperate for him that when she touched him, she didn't just touch his presence. She literally activated his power. And he literally turned his attention towards her. Be the kind of worshiper that God's attention is directed right towards you because you are so pulling on his presence. So I just want to encourage you to not get content with your worship. Be somebody that's desperate for him in a way that you've never been before. So just have a great day, have an awesome day, and be encouraged today. God is awesome and you are awesome.